The trailer for Heartland Season 19 Episode 1 shocked fans everywhere. For the first time, we see Lyndy showing raw anger, and the target of her emotions is Nathan. But why does she hate him so much? What could make a girl who grew up in the Heartland Ranch, surrounded by love and family, suddenly turn against someone with such intensity? The trailer doesn't just tease drama, it reveals a storm that could change everything for Lyndy, for Amy, and for the entire Fleming Bartlett family. The trailer wastes no time pulling us into Lyndy's world. We see her in the very first shots, not as the bright-eyed child many fans remember, but as a young woman struggling with feelings she cannot easily control. Her face tells the story: frustration, betrayal, and the kind of tension that doesn't fade overnight. And then comes Nathan, the spark behind all that fire. He walks into the frame not as a friend, not as a comfort, but as a presence that unsettles Lyndy deeply. It's not just a look of dislike. It's a reaction filled with history, with unsaid words, with pain that has been waiting to come out. Heartland has always been about family, about healing, and about finding light in dark moments. But this moment is different. The show is making it clear this season will push Lyndy to confront emotions she never had to deal with before. Her hatred toward Nathan doesn't feel random. It feels earned, shaped by something we have yet to fully see. The trailer plants questions in our minds. Did Nathan betray Lyndy's trust? Did he do something to hurt the people she loves? Or is it a clash of personalities, a collision of pride and stubbornness that neither one can let go of? The camera tells us a lot too. Every time Nathan is shown, the lens sharpens on Lyndy's reaction, not his. That choice is powerful. It reminds us that this season is her story. Nathan may play the role of the antagonist, but the focus remains on Lyndy's emotional journey. She is no longer a side character. She is the heart of this new conflict, and her voice, her anger, and her choices will guide the story forward. What makes this even more dramatic is how the trailer hints at the impact on Amy. Amy has always been the steady force, the one who believes in second chances and forgiveness. But if Lyndy cannot forgive Nathan, what does that mean for Amy? The silence between them in one of the shots is almost louder than words. It feels like a season where mother and daughter may not always stand on the same side. That tension could be heartbreaking, but it's also what makes this season so compelling. And let's not forget the ranch itself. Heartland has always shown us that the land is more than just a setting, it's a character. Every conflict, every heartbreak, every moment of healing happens with the ranch as its witness. Now, the ranch becomes the backdrop for Lyndy's anger. The open skies, the quiet barns, the horses grazing in peace, these images stand in sharp contrast to the storm brewing inside her. It's almost as if the land itself is holding its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. This opening conflict doesn't just promise drama, it promises growth. Lyndy's hatred for Nathan is not the end of her story, it's the beginning. And for fans who have followed her since she was a child, this is the moment they've been waiting for. To see her step into her own, with struggles, with choices, and with consequences that will shape her future in ways no one could predict. Hate is a strong word. For Lyndy, it isn't just teenage rebellion or a quick spark of anger, it feels layered, like a wound that has been growing beneath the surface. The trailer doesn't spell everything out, but if you pay close attention, you notice the signs. Lyndy doesn't just dislike Nathan. She looks at him with a kind of bitterness that suggests betrayal. It's the look of someone who has been hurt, not once, but more than once, and who refuses to let that pain slide away. One possible reason is loyalty. Lyndy has grown up in a family where loyalty is everything. From Amy's quiet strength to Jack's unwavering guidance, she has learned that trust is sacred. So if Nathan did something that broke that trust, maybe against Amy, maybe against the ranch, maybe even against the horses Lyndy loves, then it's no surprise she reacts with fire. For Lyndy, trust broken is trust buried, and Nathan could represent that exact betrayal. But the hatred may also come from something more personal. The trailer hints at moments where Nathan's presence overshadows her, where he tries to act like he knows better, or where he claims a space in the family dynamic that Lyndy feels he doesn't deserve. Think about it. Lyndy has always been carving her own path, proving herself in a family of strong personalities. So if Nathan enters the picture acting like a rival, or worse, like a replacement, it cuts deep. That kind of conflict isn't about one fight, it's about identity, about being seen, about being valued. The emotional tone in the trailer makes it even more clear. When Lyndy stares at Nathan, her expression isn't just anger, it's mixed with hurt. That's important. Anger by itself burns quickly, but anger fueled by hurt lingers like an open flame. It shows that Lyndy once cared, that she once wanted something different from him, maybe even respect or connection, but she never got it. Now all that hope has hardened into bitterness. There's also the possibility that Nathan symbolizes something bigger for Lyndy. Sometimes in Heartland, characters aren't just characters, they're reminders of choices, memories, or scars from the past. Nathan could represent a part of her life that Lyndy wants to escape. Maybe he reminds her of mistakes or of struggles she wants to leave behind. In that way, her hatred isn't just about him, but about what he stands for. That adds depth to the story, because it means her journey this season is about more than facing Nathan, it's about facing herself. What's fascinating is how the show uses silence in these moments. The trailer doesn't give us long speeches or loud arguments between Lyndy and Nathan. Instead, we get looks, pauses, and that heavy feeling when words are trapped in the air. This silence makes everything sharper. Fans know that in Heartland, silence always means more than dialogue. When two characters stop talking, it's usually because the truth is too painful to say out loud. And that's exactly what makes Lyndy's hatred so believable. The question is, how far will this go? Hatred can destroy bonds, but it can also force growth. Lyndy is standing at a crossroads, and Nathan is the obstacle she cannot ignore. This season might show us whether she can rise above her anger, or if she lets it consume her. The trailer sets the stage, but the story that follows could be the most personal and raw journey Lyndy has ever had. When one member of the Heartland family is at war with someone, it never stays a private matter. Heartland has always been about connection, the way one person's struggle spreads across the ranch like ripples on a quiet pond. Lyndy's anger at Nathan is not just her story. It becomes everyone's story, because the Fleming Bartlett family has built their lives on unity. If that unity cracks, the consequences echo far beyond two people arguing. The trailer drops subtle hints of this. There's a moment where Amy looks at Lyndy, her face caught between frustration and sorrow. That look says everything. Amy is the kind of mother who believes in compassion, who gives people second chances even when it costs her. For her, seeing Lyndy shut down and build walls of hatred must be heartbreaking. She knows the pain of carrying anger, she's lived it with her own past losses, and she doesn't want her daughter to carry that same weight. But the trailer makes it clear, this time, Amy may not be able to guide Lyndy out of the storm. This conflict forces Amy to make a choice: stand beside Lyndy's anger, or push her to forgive someone she cannot stand. Either way, the bond between mother and daughter will be tested like never before. And then there's Jack. Jack has always been the rock of Heartland, the voice of reason when tempers flare. But even the strongest rock can feel pressure. If Lyndy's hatred for Nathan causes tension in the family, Jack will be the one trying to hold everyone together. Yet the trailer hints at a rare silence from him, almost as if even Jack doesn't know the right words this time. That silence could mean two things. Either he understands Lyndy's pain more than anyone realizes, or he knows that this is a storm she must face on her own. For fans, seeing Jack unsure would be a powerful reminder that even the strongest hearts can falter. The ripple doesn't stop with Amy and Jack. Heartland is a web of relationships. Georgie, if she appears, could be caught in the middle, torn between supporting Lyndy and keeping peace with the rest of the family. Even the horses, though silent, often mirror the emotions of the people who care for them. A restless horse in the background, a barn door slammed too hard, or a quiet scene of Amy struggling to train while Lyndy storms. Off, these little touches show how anger spreads until it colors every corner of the ranch. What makes this ripple effect unique is how it changes the atmosphere of Heartland itself. The ranch has always been a place of healing, where broken spirits come to find peace. But if Lyndy's anger dominates the air, the ranch risks losing that calm. Fans might notice how the wide skies look less hopeful in the trailer, how the shots linger longer on faces filled with conflict rather than smiles. The land, the home, the very essence of Heartland feels heavier, as though it too is bracing for impact. And here's the question that lingers: will this hatred unite the family against Nathan, or will it divide them from within? Sometimes an enemy on the outside brings people closer together, but other times, the anger burns inward, leaving scars that are harder to heal. The trailer doesn't answer this, but it leaves the door wide open for fans to wonder and to worry. Lyndy's hatred may have started as a personal fire, but now it is spreading, touching Amy, Jack, and everyone who calls Heartland home. The family we've always seen as unbreakable might be facing one of their greatest challenges, and it all begins with one girl's refusal to forgive. Every season of Heartland has a heartbeat. Sometimes it's love, sometimes it's healing, and sometimes it's the quiet fight to hold on to family when everything else feels broken. But season 19, if the trailer is to be believed, will carry a different rhythm, a darker, sharper beat driven by Lyndy's hatred for Nathan. And that hatred is not just a storyline. It feels like the turning point for the entire show. The trailer frames Nathan not just as a rival, but as a shadow, a figure who unsettles the peace of Heartland. The fact that Lyndy's reaction to him is so strong means that he is more than just another character passing through. He's the catalyst. Every great season of Heartland has had one. A challenge that forces the family to grow, to bend, and sometimes to break before they heal. Nathan may be that catalyst for Lyndy, and through her, for everyone else. His presence has the power to either destroy the trust that holds the ranch together or push it into a new chapter none of us saw coming. What makes this so powerful is that Lyndy herself is no longer a child. She isn't just reacting with simple anger. She is making choices that will shape her identity. This means her hatred for Nathan could go down two very different paths. On one side, it could drive her into rebellion, pulling her further away from Amy, away from Heartland's values, away from the light we always see in her. On the other side, it could force her to confront her own pain and become stronger than ever before. And that choice will not only decide her future, but the direction of the whole season. Fans need to ask themselves, is Nathan truly the villain here? Or is he the mirror showing Lyndy the parts of herself she doesn't want to face? That's the brilliance of Heartland. The conflicts are never just good versus evil. They're deeper. They're about how people carry their scars, how they choose to forgive, and how love and anger often live side by side. Lyndy's hatred could reveal truths about her we've never seen before, truths about her strength, her pride, and maybe even her fear of losing the people she loves. The trailer leaves us on the edge of that question. We see glimpses of shouting, tears, moments where silence hangs like a storm about to break, and then cut to black. That's not just editing. That's a promise. A promise that episode 1 will not simply set the stage, but will strike the first chord in a season filled with tension, choices, and the kind of drama that shakes Heartland to its core. And so, the turning point is clear. Lyndy's hatred of Nathan is not just a subplot, it is the fire at the center of season 19. Whether that fire burns the family down or lights the way forward is the mystery we will all be waiting to see. Heartland has always been about healing, but sometimes before healing, there must be pain. And in this season, Lyndy is carrying that pain like a banner. As fans, we are left with the ultimate question. When the dust settles, will Lyndy's hatred define her, or will it transform her into someone stronger than ever before? The answer lies in the storm that begins in episode 1. The trailer for season 19. Episode 1 is only a glimpse, but if Heartland has taught us anything, it's that every storm has a purpose. Lyndy's hatred for Nathan feels like more than a one-episode clash. It feels like the opening strike in a season-long battle that will test every bond at Heartland. But the question isn't just what Lyndy feels now, it's where that hatred will lead her. We know Heartland doesn't waste conflict. Every tear, every argument, every moment of silence is part of a larger journey. That means Lyndy's anger is not the end, it's the spark. Beyond episode 1, we could see her faced with challenges that force her to either hold on to that anger or release it. Imagine what happens if Nathan stays at the ranch, crossing her path every day. Imagine if Amy, Jack, or even the horses become caught in the middle of that tension. The show thrives on slow-burning conflicts, and this one could simmer until it explodes in ways we don't expect. But here's the twist. Hatred doesn't only tear apart, it can also reveal truths. What if Nathan isn't the villain Lyndy sees him as? What if he's holding secrets she doesn't know? Secrets that could change her perspective. Heartland has a way of flipping emotions, turning enemies into allies when the moment calls for it. If that's the case, Lyndy's journey won't just be about anger, it'll be about learning the hardest lesson of all: forgiveness. And that could be more powerful than any other storyline we've seen from her so far. There's also the theme of legacy. Lyndy isn't just any character, she's part of a family that has carried the spirit of Heartland for generations. Her choices matter because they echo what Amy, Lou, and Jack went through before her. When Lyndy stands against Nathan, she's not only fighting her own battles, she's carrying the weight of everything her family has survived. This gives her conflict a deeper meaning. It's not just about one grudge, it's about the future of the Heartland legacy. And maybe that's why the trailer feels so heavy. It isn't just teasing drama, it's warning us that Heartland is shifting. Lyndy's hatred for Nathan could mark the moment when the torch officially passes to her. She is no longer just Amy's daughter. She is becoming the central figure, the one whose choices will decide the future of the ranch, the family, and the very heart of the series. So, what comes after the storm? That's the hook that will keep fans waiting week after week. Will Lyndy's fire burn out of control, or will it become the light that guides her into adulthood? Will Nathan stay the villain, or reveal something that changes everything? Heartland Season 19 is setting us up for a journey of pain, of healing, and of transformation. And it all begins with one word, one emotion, one storm: hatred. Heartland has never been just about horses, or even just about family. It's about what happens when people face emotions they can't control. Lyndy's hatred for Nathan may look like a personal fight, but if we step back, it's more than that. It's a symbol of how the next generation in Heartland will deal with pain, trust, and forgiveness. For years, Amy carried the weight of being the one who healed others. Whether it was a wounded horse, a broken heart, or a family crisis, Amy became the anchor. But now, the focus is shifting. Lyndy's hatred tells us something important. The new chapter of Heartland won't always be about healing others, it will be about healing herself. That's a bold move for the series. It takes the gentle, hopeful tone we know and adds sharp edges, showing us that growth isn't just about kindness, it's also about facing your darkest feelings. Nathan's role in this isn't just to be disliked. He is the mirror that forces Lyndy to confront what happens when anger takes root. Think of it this way: every major character in Heartland has faced a test. Jack faced the test of holding his family together after loss. Lou faced the test of balancing her dreams with her responsibilities. Amy faced the test of carrying on her mother's legacy. And now Lyndy faces her test: what to do with hatred when it begins to shape who you are. This isn't just drama, it's transformation. Because hatred, left unchecked, could define Lyndy forever. But hatred, faced head-on, could shape her into one of the strongest characters Heartland has ever seen. It's in that struggle where the meaning of Season 19 begins to shine. And what makes this even more powerful is the way it speaks to fans. Many viewers grew up with Heartland, learning lessons of patience, trust, and resilience through its stories. Now, they're watching Lyndy go through something raw and real. The experience of being hurt and not knowing how to forgive. It's relatable. It's human. And it's what makes Heartland more than just a family drama. It's a reflection of life itself. So maybe Lyndy's hatred for Nathan isn't just a conflict, it's a message. A message that growing up isn't only about love and light. Sometimes it's about anger, mistakes, and the painful choices that shape who you become. And by showing Lyndy walk through that storm, Heartland isn't just giving us a new story, it's reminding us why we keep coming back. Because it feels real. And because it teaches us that even in the hardest moments, there is always a way forward. The trailer for Heartland Season 19 Episode 1 doesn't just give us a glimpse of what's coming, it sets the stage for one of the most powerful storylines we've ever seen. Lyndy's hatred for Nathan isn't just about the characters clashing. It's about family, about trust, and about how one person's pain can change the future of everyone at Heartland. But now, the story is in motion, and the biggest questions remain unanswered. Will Lyndy's anger consume her? Or will she find a way to turn that fire into strength? Will Amy step in and guide her? Or will their bond be shaken by choices that drive them apart? And what about Nathan? Does he truly deserve Lyndy's hatred? Or is there a truth waiting to be uncovered that could change everything we think we know? The beauty of Heartland has always been its unpredictability. It's never about simple good versus bad. It's about real people, real emotions, and the messy path toward healing. That's why this trailer feels so heavy with meaning. Because deep down, we know this isn't just Lyndy's fight, it's the beginning of a journey that will test the very heart of Heartland itself. So now, it's your turn. What do you think the trailer is really telling us? Is Nathan hiding something that explains Lyndy's hatred? Or is Lyndy letting her emotions control her in a way that could push her family further apart? Drop your theories, your hopes, and your predictions in the comments below, because if this trailer is just a start, Season 19 might be the most emotional season Heartland has ever given us. And remember, sometimes the storm doesn't destroy the ranch. Sometimes it clears the way for something new. The question is, will Lyndy's storm bring healing or heartbreak? Only Season 19 will tell.